Yeah, Raven is very expressive. It's impossible to not know how Raven is feeling about something. Between her tail, her ears, and her voice, she does not screw around. She is very communicative at all times. And I never don't know what's going on. You know, I think I'm going to open the window here. It's 70 degrees, which isn't too bad, but I'm kind of warm. Let's open up the window. Get a little bit of nature in here. Okay. It's probably going to get too cold and I'm going to close it again, but that's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So yeah, I'm going to talk at you as we go. Hey, it looks like a poop. Interesting. I'm going to talk at you while I'm doing this. Basically, I'm just going to pull it apart. It said to pull it apart and then just start sifting through for different body parts of different critters. So we'll see what we find and try to figure out what's in here. I don't want to break anything though. So yeah, what's been going on? So I streamed on Friday and everything was fine. 5 or 6 critters. Oh, wow. Okay, so like maybe 2, 3, 4 of them in each thingy. If it was just poop with no bones in it. That would be a shame, but it could happen. There's a tiny little bone. Too far. Maybe that. Tiny little bone. Looks, if I was to make a guess just off of this one bone, I would say a humerus of some sort. It looks very, or no, that looks femory. Maybe. Which one? I'm not sure. It looks like this would be where, it's either a humerus or a femur. Either the knee or the elbow goes right there. I need to pay attention. Why do they come in poop? They're not poop, Sophia. They're, it's basically, it's the equivalent of a cat hairball. It's regurgitated. So it accumulates into this pellet in their stomach. Tiny, tiny little bone. It accumulates into this pellet in their stomach, and and then they vomit it back up again or regurgitate it back up again. It doesn't actually, I don't know if it goes all the way to their stomach or if it accumulates in their crop. But yeah, it's all the stuff that the owl can't digest. So it can't go through the digestive system, so it has to come out somewhere. So this is what happens. They regurgitate these pellets with pieces of animals in it. It's really kind of cool. And I've never done this before, so I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm using my fingers so I can feel my way through things, but I might need to just use tweezers. It might be too difficult. They're tiny, tiny little bones. So it's the instructions came with mole, shrew, rodents like rats, mice, voles, and then small birds. And then it said that you could also find grasshoppers, beetles, moths, and crayfish, in addition to whatever else. So yeah, so we're doing this now. Raven, you need to settle. You need to settle, because I'm not going to let you go into the back of this shed right now. Oop, that looks like a little tiny, tiny rib bone. Where am I? These are forceps. This is itty bitty work, my goodness. That looks like a rib to me. So yeah, I had a very busy day on Saturday. Something really awesome went on. Claw, maybe? Something really awesome went on, but it was something that required a massive amount of energy from me. Which, I mean, there are, it was worth it. It was completely worth it. But it required a massive amount of energy. It wiped me out completely. And I knew going into it that it was going to, and I knew that that was going to be the consequence, and I made the decision to do it anyway because it was worth it. And it is. 100% would not change my decision for anything. But it killed me. So part of the fun of both the mental health things that I have going on and the physical things that I have going on is that it's invisible illnesses that absolutely can take me down. That looks like a tiny little hyoid. Hello, friend. Itty bitty. Oh, you go in there. So Sunday, I was completely useless. Without doubt, I could not function. And that was fine. I had planned the day to recover. I was hoping that I would be able to stream in the afternoon, but it just was not happening. And then yesterday I was doing a little bit better, but still just completely just not good enough. I was a little bit more functional, but not on my game at all. And today I'm a little bit better still, but my brain is still very, very fried. Like my brain just, I can't. So Sunday wasn't too bad. But Sunday night, I think it was, we got really heavy rain and wind. So our lights were flickering like crazy. We got over 4 inches of rain in 24 hours. The farm is an absolute disaster. It's soaked. Everywhere is soaked. Like walking through it is like walking through a bog in places. And it's just a bitch to move around and do anything. And the goats have been in a bad mood because they haven't been moving around. It's just been a thing. So I just need something brainless and fun. And I was like, this is the perfect thing because this will keep my brain entertained without stressing it. And it'll be fun because I've never done this before. And I wanted to share it with you because it's really freaking cool. This is definitely a bone. I don't know what it is. I think maybe a vertebra. Guys, dogs, hey. It's somebody outside and the sound is coming in through the window. People are allowed to make noises outside. So yeah, that looks very much like a vertebra to me. It looks awfully big though. That's awfully big to go with those ribs. So we'll see. Griff. No, absolutely not. I do not wish for any barking whatsoever, please. I can see that there's a bone right there. I don't know if I can get right to it. Maybe I can. It's jiggly, but it's not coming right out. I don't want to break anything. So that's why I haven't been streaming and I haven't really been communicative. Not nearly as well as I would like to be. But I've just been recovering. But just know if you have loved ones who have invisible disabilities like I do, just know that sometimes, I mean, I made the decision. I absolutely made the decision to do this. There's another teeny tiny bone. Absolutely made the decision to do this and knew that I would have to pay for it. But please understand that when we have to agree to do things or not, we have to take into consideration the fact that it will, yes, I was able to do what I didn't think I could do. But I knew that I was going to pay for it. So please understand that sometimes, I mean, if I was in a really busy time of year right now, I wouldn't have been able to do what I did on Saturday. Hey, shush. I wouldn't be able to do what I did on Saturday, period. Oh, you know what? The school bus is going to come up soon. I'm going to close the window because otherwise they're already going to freak out when the school bus shows up, but it's going to be way worse if it shows up with the window open. Springtime is always rough for the dogs because they have, it's been quiet all winter with the windows closed, and when we start opening the windows, they start going crazy because they think everything is happening right outside the door. So yeah, so just understand that, yes, like I did something that I didn't think I could do, and other people have asked me to do a similar thing, and at the time I've said no, and it was either because it wasn't worth the problems, the fallout, Or it was that I didn't have time for the fallout. I mean, this is what, I'm on my 3rd day of recovery. Still worth it. But if I was in a busier time of year, there's no way that I could do this. Could have done this even if I wanted to with everything in my being. That might be a scapula and a humerus. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to do a lot of research to figure out exactly what bones I'm looking at, especially since like I'm more familiar with mammalian skeletons. If some of this is bird, I'm gonna have a really hard time figuring out what things are. But yeah, like even a trip to the grocery store is something that I have to prepare for, and I have to be ready to deal with if I overdo it and stuff. Like, it drives me crazy, the memes that go around about the shopping cart litmus test. Have you ever seen that? Where they talk about the shopping cart as being a good litmus test for somebody's internal their internal goodness, I guess, is what they say, because there's no consequences to not returning your shopping cart. But you know, if you're a good person, you'll do it. And if you aren't a good person, you won't. And I'm always like, by the time I get done grocery shopping, I am lucky that I've got enough to be able to drive home. And oftentimes I've already run 2 errands, or even if I'm feeling okay after the grocery shopping, I know that I still have to go to 2 more places or something like that. I do not return the shopping cart most times. I am running low on fuel in my body and it takes more. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you have people around that have different abilities like I do. You might want to say something like, well, if you don't bring back your cart, you're a bad person. Those look like vertebra to me. But it could just be that they are trying to figure out what's going, how they're going to get through their day. And yeah, if I can't, I can't. That's fine. But looking at me, nobody would know that I can't. Like, people judge me, and I see people giving me looks. I've actually even had somebody like sigh deeply and come and take my cart right out of the cart return as soon as I put it there. Or even worse, if I don't put it anywhere, if I put it right near me, they've come over and taken it and like given me dirty looks and stuff. And I'm like, you know what, bite me, because you don't know me. You don't know what this is all about. That's why they have the cart people. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. One day they might understand. I was a lot more judgy than I am now when I was younger, before I had as many life experiences as I have. But yeah, just, I really try to be aware of ableism, even, very mild examples of ableism, which that really is. Oh man, these are hard to get out of there with. I don't want to break them. I could just pull it out, but I don't want to break it. Look at all that. That's so cool. This is so neat. I'm so excited that I'm getting to do this. That's another tiny, tiny rib. Where's my tiny, tiny rib? There we go. Yeah, so I try to be as understanding towards others as I can, even when I don't know their situation. The only thing that I'm not as understanding about, that I really need to work on, is meanness. I do still get judgy when people are mean to other people, or especially to animals. I don't tolerate that well at all. And I should watch that, because I don't know what's going on in that person's world either. It's just really, it's harder for me to be unjudgy about meanness. That's a scapula without doubt. Hey, can you please not bark about things that don't affect us? Something's beeping. Oh yeah, that's the school bus backing up. They back into our road to turn around, and they have to turn on the little beepy thing, and the dogs just hate the little beepy. They hate the beep. Stop the beep. Yeah, I'm working on not being as judgy about meanness, because there might be a reason that people are being mean, but it's still really hard to not judge meanness, because I try really hard to not be mean. I don't succeed all the time. God knows I have, that looks like just gravel. I'm assuming that owls are like other birds where they occasionally eat gravel just to help them digest their food. That doesn't look like a bone to me. That looks like gravel. Hey, sorry guys. Raven. She sees the child. We're not barking. Hey, nope. We're not barking at children. We're not going to do that. We're not going to bark at children. Nope. We're going to let him walk right by and everything's fine. Everything's fine. Sorry, there's going to be another school bus, usually 10-15 minutes after this one, with another child that's going to walk by and they're going to bark again, and I'm so sorry. But then they should settle down as long as nothing big's going on. Oh, the other thing that happened this weekend is I got some bad news about the bad neighbors. Get off my lawn. No, she wants to see them. She wants to play with them. That's a vertebra. She wants them to get in here and come say hi. And she's barking to tell them we're over here. That's a bone. Vertebra, I think. So yeah, we got some, oh yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sherry. It's not poop. It is regurgitated bones and fur and feathers. So maybe that's not as bad. It's not poop. It's not poop. And it's all completely dry and it's been sanitized and stuff. That's cute. That's a cute little bone. I like this one. Can't quite tell what it is. Where's my other one like that? It just looks like poop. Yeah. Yeah, this is way cooler than poop. I don't get this interested in poop. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe there might be some poop that I would get this interested in, but I'm not sure about that. Oh. What is that? I don't know what that is. That looks more like a claw to me, but that's a massive claw. It doesn't look like a bone that I recognize. Maybe it's some weird bird bone that I don't know. This is so much fun. I was definitely right that this was the thing to do today. Nah, it's not a rib. It doesn't have the little knobby thingy. So, here, let me try to show you. The ribs have to have a way to attach to the sternum. There's one of the ribs. I mean, it could be if the knobby thing fell off. Maybe. There it is. Hold on, I gotta see if I can get it out of here. These are not the best tweezers. I need tippier tips. I definitely need tippier tips. Pointier tips. There we go. All right. I don't know if you can see this. This might be just too small and I can't tell if it's focusing. I think it is. See that little knob at the end of this rib? That's what attaches to the sternum to hold it in place. It's too far away. So that's what attaches to hold it in place. This comes to a point on one side and is just dead on the other side. So I don't know what that is. And even if it was a rib, it would be a good-sized animal for an owl to have eaten whole. That's a big animal if that was a rib. And it looks like it might even be, I can't quite tell, but it looks like it might be concave on this side. Saber-toothed tiger claw, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm saying it looks like a claw to me. But I don't know. I don't know what that is. And it's kind of got a little bit of a twist to it. Look at the coloring on it. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is a bird thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. But it's definitely different. Birds have hollow weird stuff. Yeah, and I don't know birds very well at all. I know mammals so much better. So it is very possible. One of my friends actually made fun of me one time because she was eating an animal with bones. And I was like, is that chicken? And she's like, this is a scapula right here. And I'm like, oh, birds don't have scapulas? She's like, you need to go and look at some books right now. Because I had never thought about the fact that animals with wings don't have scapulas. See, that's probably a rib. See how it's a little bit, ooh, whoa, there we go. It's a little bit thicker at this end where it would attach to the sternum. Another little vertebra. Ooh, I even got some fur out of the middle of it. Look at it. It's hollow. Because the spinal cord goes down through there. It's hard to get it to focus. Yeah, that's a little vertebra. Oh gosh. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to move my position again as soon as Raven starts barking at the next kid. Polish it up and make a necklace. I might do something with it. I don't know what I'll do. I don't think I can articulate a skeleton this tiny. But I might do something with them. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I'm certain that I can at least clean them. And I could put glue somewhere and put them on glue. But I don't know that I could, I mean, maybe with the vertebrae I could string them up, but they would crunch really easily. So it wouldn't be anything functional that I'd make out of it. Another little, that looks like a neck vertebra. It's a little bit different. It's like one of the top ones. Yeah, I have no idea, Sophia. I'm just curious as can be, and just playing to see what's in here because I've never done it before. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this stuff. String it together. I might string it together. I might try. I'll have to see if I can hollow them out enough to do that. This is all fur, just matted fur. With the amount of owls that we have around here, I'm amazed that I've never found one. I mean, we have the nesting pair and we have the babies that come around and they stick around for a while. I can't wait until there's babies everywhere so I can show you. I have to listen and hear if I can hear them yet. Before they leave the nest, I can hear them begging for food at night. And then once they leave the nest, they're everywhere. Last year we had probably like a good 6 of them all around the place. And like they were easy to find, easy to watch. I talked to them all the time. I can't wait to show them to you. I think that's another vertebra. There's a little bit of fur still stuck to it, but I think so. 2 parts water, 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide. Soak for 24 to 72 hours and cleans them. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's cool. Yeah, I just don't want to do anything that would disintegrate them, but if that's what is recommended, then I will do that. Well, this is interesting. Just trying to peel it away from whatever it's stuck to. What is that? Hey, get back here. I'm going to say that's part of a skull, possibly even part of a beak of a bird. I think I see a nostril there, not sure. But it's definitely hollow on the inside. I see something that might be a nostril and a nares. I think that's what it's called. I think nostril here, nares up here. I think that's what it's called. I need to remember that there can be insects too, which will totally throw me off. I don't know anything about insects. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know some, not a lot. That's a tiny bone. I have no idea what it is or how I would identify it, but it's a tiny bone. I don't think that's anything. Yeah. Yeah, owls eat little birds. They'll eat songbirds and stuff. Yep. Yeah, especially depending on how these pellets were obtained, which I didn't read the info, so I don't know. It might explain it, but if these are captive birds, a lot of times, like as an example, we have a wild bird rescue less than an hour from here. And there was one time, it was not a good day, but I had a dog visiting. There's another vertebra. Yeah. Focus. There we go. Another vertebra. I had a dog visiting, and in the 15 minutes that I wasn't directly watching this dog, he managed to break down a fence and get at my baby ducklings, and he killed them all in one fell swoop. He just grabbed them and shook them and moved on to the next one. There's another vertebra. You can see it's hollow. Hey, focus. There you go. And because they were freshly killed and we knew what killed them, they were healthy, I brought them to the bird rescue, and they fed them to the owls. So typically I don't think that owls would eat ducklings, but if these pellets were taken from captive owls, then it's very possible that they were fed things that are slightly outside of the ordinary. Still, you know, nutritionally appropriate, but just not as common for them to get their hands on, basically. That one is cute. That vertebra is cute. I agree. That was a good one. Look at all this fur. My goodness. It's literally a fur ball. It's literally a fur ball. And it just has the bones and stuff caught up in it too. This is so cool. Yeah, probably mouse fur. Well, although, I mean, mouse, shrew, vole, rat, I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. We need a forensic scientist. Somebody call an expert. I need help identifying what I'm looking at. This is very important work. It's another vertebra. It's still got some of the fur on it, but where's my classification machine? I left it at home. I left it on the bus. Yes, exactly. Here's another tiny, tiny rib. These ribs are so itty bitty. It might be clavicles. They might not be ribs. They might be clavicles. Ribs might be too small to even find them. I'm a noob because I don't have my own classification machine on hand. You are not wrong. You are not wrong at all. That's something hard, but I can't tell what it is. Let me put that in the unknown. Oops, that's not it. That's not the right one. Put it in the unknown bucket. This thing needs to go in the unknown bucket too. This is all new to you. It's all new to all of us. We need Jack. Can Jack help with this? I'll send Jack pictures. Tell him to get his butt over here and help me. Came from Bingen, Washington. Does it say, if you have the website or something, does it say if they were wild collected or if they were captive collected? Aww. Oh. My God, it's so easy to lose these things. Oh, Jack likes to say noobs. He likes looking up scientific things. That's awesome. See if you can see that one. Come on, focus. You can do it. That might be the best you get. That looks to me like a tiny, tiny, probably either a radius ulna. I think it would actually be too small for a femur or humerus, so I would say either like a fibula, tibula, radius ulna type bone. My gosh, itty bitty. This one in the wrong spot too. You go in there. You go in there. It just, okay, just what it says on Amazon. It's, on the paperwork it says it's pelletlab.com. If anybody wants to check it out and see what it says. There's another one. It's one of the long bones, humerus or femur. Here comes the other school bus. Be prepared. Sherry, turn down the volume so that the dogs barking don't bother your dogs. Pretty sure, yeah, I heard it. It's coming. Oh, and this one's going to back up into the road too, which it doesn't normally do. That's making it even better. Good, quiet dogs. Good job. Good dogs. Good, quiet. Nope, I said quiet. Remember the quiet part? I said that was a good quiet. If you're bark, then you're not quiet anymore. Be quiet, dogs. Be good, quiet. Good, quiet dogs. I'm trying to get at this because it's really cool. but I gotta get everything else away from it. And the outside is just as hard, like the very, very outside is just as hard as bones. So it's really hard to determine what's bone and what's other. Mystery. Good dogs. Good, quiet dogs. Good, quiet dogs. Thank you, babies. That was much better than the last bus. Good dogs. Look at that. The kid even walked by and they didn't even notice. Good puppies. Yeah, see this part? Can you hear this? Like the outside is almost as hard as the bone. Thank you, Jude. And I can't quite tell what's going on here. I know what I'm looking at. I just don't know quite why it's all stuck the way that it is. There we go. I got it. I got it. Just clearing it up so you can see. There we go. I got it now. We're good. The fur was in the way. You guys, you know what that is? Stay standing. Beak. Look really closely. It's hard to... There. Can you see those details? Adrian Bodie's nose. Oh my gosh. This is, I am about 98% sure that this is a rodent mandible. Yep, jawbone, exactly. The mandible, the lower jaw. Because you see how that little row of teeth? There's teeth there. And then the incisors, the part that do the chewing, would be in here normally, but they fell out. But yeah, those are itty bitty little teeth all lined up there. And rodents have their incisors that they chew with, and then a gap, and then all their back teeth. It is cute. I like the cute little teeth. I gotta figure out what I can do with that. Can't string it together like you can with the vertebra. A doll's comb. Yes. I'm certain that this owl had difficulty digesting a doll's comb. I think this is all just fur. There's something hard and I need to make sure that it's the end and not a bone. It really is hard to tell the difference between the edge of the pellet, the very, very outer layer of the pellet, and bone. Feels exactly the same until you start trying to pull it apart. Yeah, that's just fur. Okay. That's all just fur. That's just fur. Well, that's interesting. I'm thinking that might be humerus. A rodent humerus. It looks like we've got definitely a mouse or a rat here. I think that mandible, it's probably the size of a mouse, right? Yeah, that would be a mouse, not a rat. Toothbrush. So yeah, I think we definitely have at least a rodent in here. Probably a mouse. But I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between like a mouse and a vole or something like that. I don't even know that I'd be able to know the difference between a mouse and a rat, really. The size should give it away, but I can't guarantee that because they're all tiny. Oh, this is a little, oh my gosh, this is delicate, dainty work. I'm only going to get through one of these today. I don't think I've got enough in me to go through all of it. There's 6 of them. No, 5. 5 of them altogether. Which means that I get to do this again and again and again. There's a tiny, tiny bone. Focus. There we go. Tiny, tiny bone. Put that in the tiny, tiny bone bin. I can see more, but I'm just trying to pull them out without breaking anything, so it's just going to be a slow process. So the babies are growing ridiculously fast. They have grown so much, so quickly. They're monsters now. They're tanks. I can't believe it. But they're doing really, really well. And they're so confident, like they're playing with strangers that are coming to visit and stuff. That doesn't usually happen. Babies are often a lot more shy, but these boys are just confident. And I actually think that, I mean, obviously when there's babies out there, I spend time with them anyway, but I actually think that streaming has made it so I spend even more time out there with them. So they are just great little babies. That's all fur. Ooh. This one's massive compared to the others. Now this one looks like a scapula for, according to the chart that I'm looking at, it looks like a scapula for either a shrew or a mole. Scapula for the rodents is different, which we've had at least one of those. But this one, it's got a really deep groove. It doesn't have quite the shoulder blade that a rodent has. That's the shoulder blade right there. It's not quite the same, but it's got a deep groove. And looking at the chart, that's what it looks like. Where's the other scapula? There it is. They're all our babies now. They are, really. They seriously are. You've been there since literally the first moments. It's so awesome. It's another rib / clavicle type something. Yeah, this has been, I mean, it's been a totally different experience for me too, having people follow along. Usually I do the baby thing on my own. Like, you know, people come and visit and stuff, but I've never had anybody really share the babies growing up with me like you are. You know, Kane does to some degree, but he's, you know, he doesn't spend as much time with them as you do at this point. Another tiny bone, maybe vertebra. Not quite sure. Maybe a tail vertebra. Oh, that could be a tail vertebra. We'll put it in with the vertebra. Why not? So yeah, I mean, I think you know them better than anybody other than me at this point. which is really kind of cool. It's a totally different experience for me. I hope that you guys have been enjoying it as much as I have, because it's really kind of cool. It's very different. This is something. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what that is. It's definitely something. But it's weird. I don't know what it is. It'd be nice if it would actually focus. There you go. I don't know what it is. No clue. But it's something. Put that in the mystery bin. You wanted to see goats up close for a long time? Well, now you've seen so up close that you can't even tell what's going on. They are right in the camera's face sometimes. You're enjoying it, Sophia? Thank you. Oh yeah, and you've gotten to see plenty of up-close goat vulva. Just wait. Oh, that's right. I wanted to talk to you guys about the registry that I made. So here's a thing that I thought of. This is another tiny, tiny bone. Let's see if it'll focus. There it is. It's tiny. I don't know what it is. So for Esri's kidding, if possible, I didn't ask for that, but now I know. You now know what a goat vulva looks like, and you are just the luckiest. Not everybody gets to see a goat vulva that close. Leave your vole. Leave your vole. So with Esri's kidding, I really, really, really want to try to film it in addition to streaming it so that I can have the grosser things for people who want to see them. This is another rib. But there's a challenge with that, which is that I don't have a camera. And I don't know if you actually want to see it that badly. But in case you do, I figured that I would make it so that it's at least possible. I don't have a camera, and right now I cannot afford a camera. Everything that I'm reading says to pay a little bit more money and get an actual GoPro, not one of the knockoffs, though I'm open to suggestion on whether I should follow that advice. But what I figured I would do is, with the wish list, to the best of my knowledge, with the wish list, it's, you know, somebody has to just buy each thing outright. I don't know what it is. It's a little bone. Focus, please. Focus. There. But I figured out if I make a registry, then it can basically be crowdfunded. So what I did was I'll put it in the Discord, I'll put the link in the Discord. I made a registry on Amazon with a camera in it. I am totally up for taking suggestions on not doing that one or doing a different one, a better one, whatever, but I tried to go for one that was, you know, basically nearly the lowest GoPro available. There was one that was like $20 less expensive, and I was like, for 20 bucks more, we'll get the next version up and it'll be better. So I made a registry. It's another rib, if it'll focus. There it goes. Made a registry on Amazon, and with the registries, unlike with the wish lists, with the registries, you can crowdfund it basically. So people just, you know, chip in until it's funded or not. So I did that. I'll put the link in the Discord. Please don't feel any pressure to participate. I just want it to be an option if we can make it an option, if people want it to be an option, but people may not even want it that badly. So no pressure whatsoever, but if you want me to try to film those parts, what I'll probably have to do, because Twitch won't allow it, I'll probably have to film it and then edit it and upload it to YouTube later. But it, you know, it'll give you guys a chance to see the stuff that I can't show on Twitch if you want to do it. But please don't worry about contributing if you don't want to. I just know it's not in my, I will not be able to make it fit in my budget between now and then. And I didn't want to make it just basically be like, well, no, because I can't afford it. So it's up to you. If you want me to do that, then I need your help. If you don't, then don't contribute and I just won't do it and it'll be fine. Yeah, I think I'd have to upload it to YouTube. So it's there. And yeah, I'll put the link in the Discord so you can find it if you want to. I can't quite tell what this is. I'm really not sure. It's curved, and I think it's hollowed out on that side, but I can't quite tell. I'll after I soak these, I think soaking them will help a lot because it'll help clear away the fur that I can't pull apart with my forceps. Yeah, that's what I want to do is, I would like to. I'd like to be able to share the grosser parts of things for people who want to see it. This, look at that perfect ball joint. That is a beautiful ball joint right there. Well, not ball joint, but the ball part of the ball joint. That is really cool. And I am willing to bet that this is a femur. Look at that. You can actually even see, if I can get it to focus well enough, you can even see the groove for the kneecap. Right here is where the kneecap will sit. That's the patellar groove right there. So that is a perfect, perfect femur. Lovely. It gets its own little bucket. There's so many tiny, tiny little bones in here. This is itty bitty little bone. And I did also, while I was messing around with Amazon, I did update the wish list and stuff. I added some more flavors of baby food, some more things to try as toys with the goats. The toys are always going to be a, hit or miss thing. I don't know how they'll respond to them. One of them is actually a safe mirror. I was like, I wonder what will happen if we put a mirror out there and let the goats see themselves. Whether they'll think that they've got somebody new to play with, whether they'll figure out that it's them. I don't know. But it's a safe mirror. So I added some stuff just for fun. Some different toys and things. It's another little bone. Don't know what it is. I guess it could be a tail vertebra, maybe. I'll put it in the vertebra thing. I just dropped a bone. Tiny bone. I think I dropped another one. Is that it? Right there. I got it. Tiny bone. That one just jumped. Yeah, more teeny tiny bones. Miscellaneous unidentified tiny bones. Yeah, hopefully soaking these will help things show up better, like the grooves and the hollow open insides and stuff. They'll headbutt themselves in the mirror. That's what I'm wondering about. Like, I'm wondering if they're going to headbutt the stranger, whether they're going to figure out that it's them, whether they're going to, think that they're friends or foes. I really don't know what they're going to do. But I thought it would be kind of fun to try it out and see what they think. But it's made of plastic somehow. So it's made for putting in horses' stalls. So it's safe. It doesn't break. It even bends, but it reflects images. So hopefully they'll see it and think it's interesting. I don't know. It'd be really funny if it starts like a battle royale at the mirror. Obviously, if it causes stress, I'll take it away, but I think that they'll be more interested than stressed. Ooh. Where did you go? This is another something. Yeah, we're gonna have to soak these because a lot of these, like, it's just too hard to tell what it is when they're caked with fur. Yeah, animals with mirrors, you never know. You never know. I mean, some of them are incredibly smart and can figure it out. Like elephants realize that it's them, I believe. I'm pretty sure that I read an article saying that elephants could recognize that it was them in the mirror and that this was a reflection of themselves. Horses tend to love them. Horses tend to think that they have a new best friend. What would be funny? Headbutting the mirror? That's why I read it very carefully to make sure that it could handle impact. I just wanted to make sure in case they decided that they were going to argue that the mirror could survive and not hurt anybody. I still can't get these bones out. These bones are the ones that I've been after this whole time. I can't get them out. The horses with mirrors are great. Yeah, they're really cute about their mirrors. I will admit that I usually feel bad for the cats with mirrors because I think it does upset cats. That's why we will take it away from the goats if it upsets them, but I'm not sure. That is another rodent humerus. You can see little knobbies on the end over here. So many. There's another vertebra. And another vertebra. No. Horses play peekaboo. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen them do that before. And the lions started a fight. I believe it. Cats are jerks. In all the good ways, of course. Maybe I'll see what the dogs think of it too. I just think it would be fun. It could be bad. I don't know. We won't know until we try it. That looks to me to be the top of a bone, like the top of actually that would be the bottom of a femur, I think. This is a bunch of big bones. big quote-unquote bones. Big comparatively speaking to what else we've been seeing today. Tiny compared to everything else I've dealt with ever before. That's a bone. Not sure what. If you listen really carefully, you can hear Ginny snoring. She is not a quiet sleeper. Well, now. It's another tiny rib. And another... No, that's not. That's not another. That's just stuff. Another tiny bone. How have I gone this long without ever doing this? This is so much fun. Now we gotta try to figure out what this is. Check this out. I'm gonna try to hold it with the forceps a little bit. There's a little hole there. There's a hole in the bone, but then there's a hole, like there's the big hole that I can put the forceps through, but there's also a little hole there. And then the end here looks kind of flattened. I strongly suspect that this is some kind of weird bird thing. Bird weirdness. Maybe? I don't know what that is. But it's kind of cool. Oh. Sorry, babies. I'm sorry. I moved too much. They thought I was getting up. Another vertebra. I'm also going to pick through everything again afterwards and just double check all of the fluff that I'm going through a little bit more carefully, make sure that everything is cleared out. Vertebra. Oh, also, I think I've mentioned before that Kane and I enjoy watching trashy reality TV. We know that it's trashy reality TV. We love it anyway. It's another tiny vertebra. Anybody that has Netflix in the US, I don't know about other places. There is a show on Netflix called Indian Matchmaker. It's a really interesting show. You actually learn a lot about Indian culture watching it. I mean, it's trashy reality, but, you know, it's still interesting. There's another one exactly like that other, so I'm assuming from the same animal. Same deal. Weird shape, hole in one side. You have to ration the trashy reality TV. Yeah, so it's Indian Matchmaker. There's also one that's like My Big Indian Weddings or something, which is really good too for different reasons. But the Indian Matchmaker one, I'm fascinated by it. And part of it is that, you know, part of their culture is trusting matchmakers to arrange marriages and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Auntie Sema, yes. Yep. So we just started watching season 3 today. I know it's been out for a little while, but we didn't get around to it. We watched 1 and 2 long ago. Love is Blind. Yep, we've watched Love is Blind as well. That one's an interesting one. And then I think the one that was just on Netflix was called Perfect Match, maybe. And that's where they take like a whole bunch of Netflix reality quote unquote stars and try to, you know, basically put them in a place and try to match them up. It's a dating show for people that have already been on Netflix shows and are now looking for love, whether they were on a reality show for love. Like some of them were from The Mole, but some of them were from, you know, like Love is Blind and stuff like that. So yeah, that one was that was an interesting one to watch. But yeah, I like Love is Blind. It's interesting. The Ultimatum, I believe, is coming out with a new season, which is just, we watch it because it's a wonderful train wreck to watch, but what a toxic TV show. The Ultimatum, where you basically bring your spouse or bring your significant other onto a TV show and say, either you're going to, you know, commit to me or we're over by the end of this TV show. And it's like, oh. Yes, Sherry, that's the one that we watched. We watched that one this morning. We watched, like, I think 2 of them this morning. And yeah, the teacher was the one that I mean, he seems like a nice enough guy, but there is literally zero sex appeal about that man. Like, I can totally understand why he's always friend zoned. He has literally nothing, I don't know, nothing sparky about him. He's sweet, but like, I can't figure out how I would ever get attracted to somebody like that. Yeah, he was annoying. Like, as I'm talking my head off, he talks his head off, like, way worse than what I'm doing. I'm having one-sided conversation, kind of, but you guys are kind of still part of it. He just had a one-handed conversation, or one-sided conversation with somebody else in the room. And oh my gosh, the when they took a break for him to, you know, break down his rap, I nearly died. His mathematics rap, guys. He did a rap. An Indian dude did a rap about mathematics. And it was horrible. And we watched it twice because we had to. There's another femur. Perfect femur with the ball intact. Patella groove right there. Beautiful. And then these two were right next to each other, and they came apart when I pulled them out. I strongly suspect that this is either a radius ulna or tibia fibula. Tibia fibula, radius ulna. I think it's one of those pairs. It just, the way that it was together in the pellet, it came apart when I pulled it out, but I think that's what it is. You were thinking that about the wrap or about the tibia fibula? The tibia thing? Yeah. I should have shown it to you before I pulled it out of the pellet better. You might have seen it, but yeah. But the math rap, I mean, come on now. That was amazing. And then if you haven't watched, I think it's called Are You the One? That one was really interesting. Like, we wanted more of that one. I think that's what it was. The one with the spotlights, where they would light up the spotlights to figure out, you know, to signify how many correct matches they had in the house. That's another one that I really, really liked. But, you know, none of it is quality TV. None of it is quality TV. It's just mindless stuff that we watch. We watch stuff that requires minds too, that requires brains. And we watch lots of nerdy stuff. And then when we want just mindless drama, we totally just turn on the trashy reality. What is that? I think that's a piece of a skull. Very, very thin bone, concave, broken. I think that's a piece of a skull. I'll put it into the mystery pile. But I have a theory on that one. So this whole dissecting an owl pellet is not at all what I was expecting, but I think it's way better than what I was expecting. I really didn't know what to expect, but I had a thought in my head of what it was going to be like, and this is not it. But this is so much better. There's another tiny rib. One challenge with covering your hands with grinder. My hands have gloves on them, but covering your hands in gloves and then covering the gloves with regurgitated rodent pieces. When your nose gets itchy, it's really difficult to find a way to scratch it. Of course, my nose is going to get itchy just looking at this. And another tiny rib. Another tiny rib. Another unidentified tiny bone. And also with the trashy reality TV, I still watch The Bachelor, Bachelorette, which is horrible TV. Like, it's worst. Kane can't even watch it anymore because he gets too mad at the people for being idiots. But I still watch that one even. That's interesting. That might be a wonky scapula or humerus. Maybe a wonky humerus from one of the... like a shrew, maybe? I don't know. That's where the mandible went. Where did I put the scapula? There. I think this might be a humerus. So tiny. Everything is so tiny. It's not making you laugh? What's not making you laugh? The humerus? The tiny humerus is not making you laugh? If you're not laughing, then you just don't get the joke. CSI Bird Box. Extract the DNA from these bones? Yeah, have fun with that. No, guys, sorry. Oh my gosh. My foot slipped and I kicked the thing. Hey, stop, that was me. Hey, dogs, stop, that was me. I'm sorry. My foot slipped, I kicked the cabinet, and they just lost it. Sorry about that, everybody. Very sorry. I don't know what that is. I'm not even going to put it in my hand because I don't think I can get it out of my hand. That's something. I don't know what. Sorry, guys. That was totally me. I'm so sorry. You were being punny? You know I like punny. Just took me a second. I'm sorry. I really... Sorry, Caprise. My foot slipped off the rung on the stool that I'm sitting on, and it just hit the cabinet. It was quiet, but it sounded too much like a car door closing outside to Griffin. I try to include them in things out here because I feel bad locking them up while I'm out here and they can be out here with me, and instead I put them in their crates. I don't like that, so I try to include them in things out here, but then that means that we occasionally have dogs barking for little to no reason. The mouse mama wanted her kids' bones back for burial. There's a little mouse knocking. Excuse me. Can I have my babies, please? If Griff knew that it was a mouse, he'd be all good with that. He wouldn't bark at a mouse. He'd be like, oh, a new friend, come on, let's play. I'll show you the best places to play. You go in the front yard and you go over here. It's good to play over here. And then you go over here. And then you go to the door. Griff loves everybody. Which is really funny because he sounds really scary. But literally he'll sit there and, sound horrifically scary while somebody's walking up to the door. And as soon as I open the door, he's like, oh my God, you're here. And he gets all excited. But he has to bark at them all scary when they're outside. I don't know what that is. Might be a tiny, tiny rib. But it's especially tiny. And it's a little bit flatter than a rib usually is. But maybe the top ribs are flattish. I don't know what bone that is. It's a tiny, tiny bone. EB bone. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. Has anybody looked at the emotes today? I switched some things around. I got a bunch of emotes approved, and we now have more emotes than we have slots available, but I did that on purpose. So for right now, we have more emotes than slots. That won't last. So I took out some of the ones that I don't see being used very often in chat and put in some different ones. So feel free to take a peek and play with them if you like them. If you don't like them, let me know and I'll take them out and put in the other one again. Another rib. 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 This is really interesting. You like it, Caprise? I'm having a blast. This is exactly what I needed today to get me past the last little bit. I don't think I can show you this. I think this is like a knuckle bone or something like that. It's got grooves on one end. What do you think, Jude? We got Nom Nom, we got Seriously, we got Sweet, Drama, If anybody's missing something else, this is a humerus from maybe a shrew. Maybe we're dealing with a shrew and a mouse. I still think we're dealing with a mouse, but that's according to the chart. That looks a lot like what the picture is of a humerus on there. Yeah, drama's in there now. We got drama, and we also have the Jeremy one saying nope and shaking. Like earthquake, nope, Jeremy. Vertebra. Oh, what is that? That. I want to say that this is a broken humerus, that, because you can see kind of where the elbow goes right in there, but this is broken off, I think. Yeah, Jeremy's screaming, shaking, nope. Ooh. There's a rib that fell. The dogs are wrestling now, so enjoy that. I figured with the Sprite emote, I say seriously a lot. So I figured that would be a worthwhile one to have in there. But yeah, let me know if you miss any of the other ones and want to trade them out again. I'm fine with doing that. I just wanted you to see what we have available. So basically I got a bunch approved because at some point, hopefully soon, I'm gonna have 5 slots open up for follower emotes. You don't get those immediately when you get affiliate. So once I'm eligible for follower emotes, I'm gonna have 5 slots open up. So I figured I should have 5 or so emotes in the queue waiting and approved. So that's what I did. I uploaded them so that they could be ready, and they got approved. But now I have to wait until I have the slots. Another rib. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have just like I'm gonna keep a stash of owl pellets, and so some of the things that I've found with my anxiety that works is sometimes I just need to heal and cope, which means that I need something that's pretty quiet but mindless. Those are the times that I watch something like Gilmore Girls, or I read a book that I've read 1,000 times already. I do basically like just comfort seeking activities. And those are just times that I need to just either decompress or heal or something. And then there's sometimes that, that my brain is doing everything that it needs to do and I'm doing okay. And so then those are the times that I tend to want like something that takes a little bit more brain, either a task that takes more brain, or, start off a new TV show that I have to pay attention to or something like that. Sometimes my brain is kind of and it just doesn't care, but my body is like, I gotta do something. So then I've got tons of physical activities to do around the farm anytime I need to do that. But sometimes I need to just keep my brain busy without stressing it. But I need it to be in use enough that it stops thinking about all the things. If I have something too mindless, then my brain can still churn around on, I said this last time I saw that person, and I don't know if they took it the wrong way, and what if they took it the wrong way and they just haven't said anything to me, and now I've pissed off somebody that I really care about, but they won't tell me, so I don't know. Like, I'll sit there, and especially with my social phobia, social situations, I'm constantly Like, I mean, I've even done it after stream. I've been like, oh my gosh, people probably think I'm the weirdest person, or you know, people probably thought that I meant that, you know, I kick the goats all the time. You know, like my brain just loves to chomp on things that really almost always are completely nonsensical, and there's no evidence that anybody would care or think what I think they're thinking, but my brain still tells me that that's definitely what they're thinking. So when it's, and that's kind of the mode that I've been in, is number one, stressing about, worrying about what's going on outside with the farm and the weather and the water everywhere. But then also just really replaying some social interactions and coming up with all the ways that I'm just a terrible social being and that I should never ever be in the presence of people again, because who would want to put up with me and my stupidity? So something like this is perfect because it's not taking a ton of brain power, as far as like I'm not having to think really hard and concentrate really hard. So if my brain isn't really working well, it doesn't matter. But it is interesting enough that it's keeping my attention on what I'm doing instead of allowing my brain to chomp on ridiculousness that really doesn't even need to be thought about. So this is perfect. I really like this, and I might just have to keep these on hand. It's great for viewers as well. Good. I might just need to keep some of these on hand so that when I need this kind of, you know, brain distraction, just get me out of my thoughts and into something, you know, different, I'll just grab a freaking pellet and get going. I was hoping that this would be interesting to people. You know, obviously I hope that it's interesting to everybody, but I was hoping that it would catch somebody else's attention, different people's attention, since it's such a different thing to do. I would like you to do a reveal on the bones when they're bleached. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll soak them. I have actually. Let's take a quick break, shall we? I need to stand up anyway. My leg is starting to fall asleep. I'm gonna try to not move the camera. I'm just gonna move the things. Yeah, I'll definitely show them when they're bleached. I'm just gonna move the things a little bit and then I'll move everything back again. Oops, that's not gonna work. Move this. Do that to hold it in place. There you go, that's even better. I'm gonna just scooch this over and out of the way. I wanna show you what else I've been working on. That's related. Look up. I gotta get the thing. I'm still working on bleaching this, but check this baby out. This is the skull of one of the goats that I buried about 1.5 years ago. I dug her up before the winter, but she's kind of just sat around, so she's gone through one degreasing mode. I need to put her through a bunch of soaks of degreasing. This little white stuff is fat. This is actually still fur that's still on her. So yeah, I need to do a bunch more degreasing and then bleaching. So that's her, and then these are her lower jaw bones, her mandibles. You can see these are those sharp teeth that can bite you in the back, that can cut. They definitely can cut. And they do actually sit in there. I'll probably wire them in, but they do actually sit in her jaw appropriately. So there's that, but I wanted to show you a couple of cool things. One thing, let's see if the camera will hopefully show this to you. One thing that so two things that I've learned by messing with the skeleton or the skull that I didn't know. Yeah, the eye sockets are big, aren't they? They're ridiculous. There's the sharp teeth from the top too. The horns are amazing, I agree. But look up the nasal passage. Check that out. Isn't that so cool? It looks like freaking like loofah sponge up there. That's why they can smell so well. All of those tiny, tiny little receptors, I guess. Or maybe they make holes for the, I don't know, but isn't that insane? Filaments. And then the other cool thing that happened, which I've seen this happen on live goats, I've just never seen it on a dead goat. I think this one, which one is it? One of these is, maybe not. Maybe it's a different skull that I was messing with. No, I could have sworn it was this one. Oh man. Well, I guess that's a good thing. Okay, if I find the skull that was actually doing it, I'll let you know. I thought it was this one, but maybe it was another one that I was messing with. The skull, the horn sheath actually comes off, and there's a horn left behind that's inside. This is just a horn sheath that you see, and the horn itself is actually inside, and it's porous. Really cool. I thought that this is when I kept on picking it up, and the horn kept on sliding right off. The sheath kept on sliding right off, but it must not be this one. It's another one. So when I find the other one, then I'll show you what the inside of a horn looks like. But an amazing sculpture. This one is actually this one actually has a purpose. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I have two skulls that I'm working on. One of them has a purpose. My stepchild has requested a skull for their birthday. So one of them is going to the stepchild. But the other one I can use however I want to. At least take photos for Insta. Yeah, I can do that. And this is also cool. That's where the spinal cord goes up into the skull and connects to the brain. So yeah, I just thought you'd find that interesting. Nose. Unfortunately, we lost all of the incisor teeth while she was. This one was fully buried. I have some skulls that are in the freezer that haven't been buried that I'm actually going to process differently, but this one, she was actually in the ground, so we did lose some of the incisor teeth, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. Back to what we were doing. It's like a high fashion shoot with diamonds on it. Okay, are we back to what we were? Okay, we're back. Yeah, so I'm hoping that it'll be really good once it's all cleaned out and stuff. Really hoping so. I know that we're looking at a skull right here. I don't know if you can see it yet, but there is definitely a skull in there. I just have to get to it, and there's still some bones in the way, and there's a bunch of fur still. It's not a rib. It's a long bone of some sort. That's another rib. Rib. Caparis, were you there when your granddaughter dissected the pellets she worked on? Or did you just see the little container full of bones? Another tiny, let's see if I leave it right like that, let's see if it'll focus well for you. See that tiny little bone? They're so cute. I don't know what they are. There's a lot of them. They're itty bitty, but they're so cute. They're perfect. Your granddaughter would love this. Go for it. I want to do something with the fur too. Like, it feels wrong to just throw this away. But I don't know what I could do with it. She'll love the big skull as well. Awesome. Good, good, good. Yeah, I've got that big skull, and then the other skull that I'm working on is was an adolescent horned goat. You saw everything soaking. Gotcha. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. It's really fun because you just don't know what you're gonna uncover next. It's literally like, I always had a small interest in archaeology, paleontology kind of thing. Just not, I mean, I should just say I've had an interest in all the natural sciences forever, so that's just another one of them. But this is kind of like that. You don't know what's in here. You're just gonna find it. You're gonna find it, and it's gonna be great. You know there's stuff to find. You just don't know what it's going to be or how it's going to be. It's another one of those wonky scapulas, I think. What, shrew scapula, I think. Weird one. When the paleontologist dug up the woolly mammoth on TV, it was frozen and she tasted it? What? What? She put the meat, it was frozen meat from a mammoth, or it was like fossilized meat? Was it like mummified or just frozen? That's so weird. I need to find that. Yeah, I wouldn't be digging stuff up and shoving it in my mouth from the Paleolithic era or whatever it is. Mummified? That's weird. That's really weird. I don't know many scientists that would do stuff like that. Most of them are pretty cautious for a reason. Yeah, that's weird. Why would she put it in her mouth? I don't care if it's meat. It's like thousands of years old meat. Soak the one you have first and then dissect it. I might do that with the next one and see if that, is easier, better, whatever. Just see how different that is. I read a couple of articles before doing this, and some of them said to soak it first and some of them said to just pull it apart, so I decided to start with the pulling it apart part. But I might soak the other one, or the next one. But we got 5 of these to go. So excited. I'm probably going to stream all 5 of them. Because why wouldn't I? You'd better. I will take that as warning. Another humerus, I think. The rodent humerus, mouse humerus. Yeah, that was a lot of parts, but that was kind of funny, so I said it anyway. Listen, I've never said that I am an eloquent speaker. I can write eloquently. Speaking, not so much. I did not burp. I did not burp. Burp, burp, part. Does anybody, just curious, does anybody know why it's so funny when Renoa says please? When she's like, please! Does anybody know why that's so funny? Because it makes me laugh every freaking time she does it. Every time. What you did. I don't know what it is about it, but it makes me laugh. There's a good bone. That looks like a humerus to me. That looks a lot like a humerus to me. Like a mouse humerus. Oh no, that's a weird one. No, it's a mouse. Okay. It's a mouse humerus, according to the paper. Please! Like, yeah, and then she gets herself giggling, saying please, because it's funny to her, and she knows that it's funny to us, but my gosh, it's so funny. Please! I cannot reproduce it. Nobody can. I was never on lives when she was saying don't stop coming, but that's in a lot of her YouTube edited videos. These are definitely ribs. Let's see if you can see these. There's like, I had just pulled one out, so it was like 4 or 5 bones right in a row. A little xylophone. And she kept laughing at her own way of saying don't. I don't remember that. Is that on a YouTube video? I might need to go back and watch some of those older ones again. She thought, and she was funny the way she said don't. That's a cute bone. It was like, please. Might be in lives, yeah. I never saw those old lives. I want to see the old lives. Maybe making fun of herself with the don't isn't in the videos, but I know that she says something about don't stop coming, so I'll see if I can listen to it and see if I can hear what was cracking her up about it. But yeah, the other thing, whenever she's like, and I do a horrible impersonation of it, so please just try to remember to what she does, not me. But when she's like, David, or whatever, when she does the every time that she does that, it makes Kane giggle. He turns into a giggle ball whenever she's like, ridiculous. That cracks me up too, but it really kills him. Like, he really just giggles his butt off when she does that. Every time. Like, every time. I'm pretty sure that I've got some vertebra here. She used to say, whoa. They did a supercut? What? My supercut? The one that I made her stop making that noise? What? When she was laughing? I made the supercut because it was funny and I liked it, not because I wanted her to stop. I made that supercut, yeah. Oh, I feel bad if that made her not like something. I was appreciating the awesome. Oh, now I feel terrible. I'm never making another supercut again. Never gonna do it again. She liked it, but she still stopped. So that means she didn't like it. Now I feel bad. She realized she said it too much. She didn't say it too much. That's just it. She didn't say it too much. It took me a long time to find all those clips. There's another mouse scapula. We have more than one mouse in here, I'd say. No, I didn't want her to stop. Now I feel bad. Oh, that was not my intention at all. I was just having fun. I was more celebrating the fact that this makes me happy. So I made a supercut of the thing that makes me happy. Sorry, I was wrong. The ones that I've been showing you are most humorous. This is a mouse scapula. Those last couple were most humorous. Never making another supercut. Not gonna happen again. That's actually the mouse scapula, the one that I just showed you, is very much like what it looks like for a dog. That's very close to what a dog's looks like. She didn't say it too much though. Like literally, I had to go through a lot of VODs to find all those. She didn't say it too much. She said it just enough. Another long bone of some sort. You tried to make a supercut of please. Don't do it because she'll stop saying please. No supercuts for Renoa ever again. She has to keep saying please. That one cracks me up. Our assets are frozen. That was funny too. That one cracks me up whenever she says that too. That's not gonna work. There's another mouse scapula and a little long bone. Long bone goes here, scapula goes here. You know, it would be nice if these owls were a little bit more considerate and kept things together for me. It'd be a lot easier to pick through everything. They're completely disorganized. It's just a whole bunch of little miscellaneous bones. Miscellaneous tiny bones. I need to get tinier. I need to get tinier forceps. These forceps are for surgery, not for microsurgery. This is microsurgery. Did I watch the Twin Peaks? I have watched Twin Peaks. I did not get it at all. Kane loves Twin Peaks. Loves it. It's like one of his all-time favorite shows. No clue what that is. No clue. But yeah, Twin Peaks is one that it wasn't my kind of thing. I didn't get it. I didn't get the allure. I did get him a cup that said his coffee or something like that. I don't know. I got him a coffee cup that was somehow Twin Peaks-ish. Vertebra. Tiny rib. Slightly less tiny rib. Another tiny rib. Tiny bone. My God, these are like totally enmeshed. Oh, I missed something. No, I didn't. That was nothing. Yeah, he watched me make. He made me watch almost all of the Twin Peaks stuff, but I really eventually just. I mean, I never really enjoyed or appreciated it, and I just kind of tuned out after a while and really stopped absorbing it. It's just not my thing. I'll bet that's a clavicle or something. Another rib. No, do not bark. The goats just made a noise. No barking, that's the goats. There was a little thump. It was the goats. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, there might be yep, there's a car coming down the hill. Those jerks. Driving on the road as if they can. No clue what this is either. It's softish. It doesn't feel like bone to me, but I don't know what else it would be. Focus, please. No, focus, not blur. It's like, whoa. I don't know what it is. It's gonna go in the I don't know pile. The I don't know pile is gonna be the biggest pile because I really don't know what I'm doing. Tiny little arm bone. Oops. Rib. Now they just went back up the hill. They're out of control now. Griff. Psst, 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 psst. Please stop. Please stop. Thank you. Quiet, quiet. Shh, 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 shh. Thank you. Good boy. Good boy. Thank you, sir. The other problem is that this is all kind of attached to one another, but there's bones mixed in, and I told you I think there's a skull in here, but I think the skull is broken, so trying to get things off of the skull that aren't supposed to be there while still leaving the skull intact, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. I think that's part of the skull. I actually think there might be two skulls here. Not sure. Oh no, maybe it's a skull and a mandible. Yeah, that's probably what it is. There's another mandible. See the little teeth? I'm pretty sure that this is a humerus that I'm pulling out, and that these two bones were kind of linked to it, so I think that might be a radius and ulna pair, because they were pretty tightly associated with this, and I'm pretty sure this is a humerus. It looks awfully humerusy. Or the other way around, that might be the tibia and fibula. Yeah, you see the teeth? It's definitely rodent teeth. They naturally discolor like that. I don't know what that is. Oh, is this a third mandible? This is a third mandible, which means that we have at least two animals in here confirmed, because animals don't have more than two mandibles. But look at this, we've got the tiny little incisor. It's a lower incisor. Let's see here. That's a lower incisor on a tiny little mandible. See, oh, the teeth are perfect on this one. Look at that. Perfect. I'm going to keep that together with this because did the other mandible have the bottom incisor? It did. I didn't even notice it. Yeah, this one had the incisor too. A little miscolored incisor. The first mandible didn't have the incisor attached. So that one does. Those go with this skull. Those are the top incisors. So let's get to the rest of this skull. See, there's just a ton of other bones still mixed in here. Lots and lots of little ribs and other itty bitty bones. That I need to pick through. Need to pick through all of that. Need to pick through all of this. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that this skull is crushed. Yeah, the nose part is definitely broken. This little piece here is totally broken off. It's not attached to anything except by fur. That. But I'm still going to keep it all together. I'm going to try to put this skull back together again if I can. That's a vertebra right there. But the dome of the skull, see how I'm pretty sure that the dome of the skull is totally crushed. Some of the teeth will come out when you soak it. Yeah, that's That's a shame. That's why I'm going to keep them together, at least in the same little compartment. Hopefully I can put it all back together again after it soaks. Yeah, this is tricky, trying to get everything out of here. And knowing I'm not gonna pull this all apart. I'm gonna show you this to you, but I'm not gonna pull it all apart because there's too many tiny little things that I don't know what belongs where, and I don't want to break it any more than it already is because I want to try to preserve it. So we'll just leave it as is for right now. But I want to show you the underside of the skull. Look at those top row of teeth. We got the discolored incisors right there. They get that natural coloration to them. That's actually, I have to remember what it is that does that, but something good it does that. But look at the tiny little rows of teeth. Look at all those little ABA teeth. Love it. So yeah, I'm gonna not pull that apart. I'm gonna let that soak because I think I'll screw things up worse if I try to mess with it. I'm gonna put all of that together and all of that soak. What time are we at? 4? Okay, I've got a little bit more time to do this. I might not get through all of this today, depending. We might have to come back to this pellet. I'm pretty sure there's another skull in here. Yeah, there's a skull. That one looks more intact. Another humerus. Losing earrings and having to find them in the vacuum cleaner in the dust bag. Yep, very similar, only even smaller. That's just the outer, yeah. There's teeth. According to the diagram, this is a tibula fibia. And at the top there is where the kneecap would attach, and then the femur that would attach to that would hold the kneecap groove. But that's where the kneecap sits. He's so cute. More tiny bones. Oh my gosh. I should probably have waited for my new glasses to come in with my new prescription for this. I'm getting my first set of progressives. I officially cannot see properly when up close for the first time in my life. I've worn distance glasses since I was like 12, I think. 14 maybe. But I'm officially to the point where I have to take my glasses off to read. And this might actually be easier to do with my new glasses that aren't here yet. I think this is all just the outer casing. I'm just going to kind of pick through it just to make sure there's nothing exciting. Yeah, that's all fur. Good, good, good. More teeth. found another little pocket of ribs. I might be able to just pluck them all out. I thought that was a rib, but maybe it's not. No, it's just part of the outside. Vertebra. Oop. Dropped bone. It's like a long bone. Don't know which one. This one's another tibia fibula, but I just broke off the fibula. It's so delicate. It's right there. That one. I was trying to pull the fur out and broke it right there. Critters are packed in tight. Yeah, they're really like, I mean, like there's bones inside. There's like leg bones inside of skulls. Like they're completely packed in tight. There's no space for anything. That's tooth. Just trying to tease things away as best as I can without breaking anything, but it's really challenging, which is good. But that's why it's taking me so long. So sorry. But as you can see, it's really easy to break something. I knew what I was doing just then, and I still managed to break it. Now we're making progress. Another one of these things. Oh, there's a tiny, tiny rib. There's another one of these things. I don't know what this is. I'm not taking as much stuff off of it this time. It's like, it feels like it wants to be a skull, but it's not. It's definitely not a skull, but it's very concave, but it's extra soft. So I don't know what that is. I'm going to not take this one apart, and I'm just going to soak it as is. It's softer than bone. This, I suspect, is a scapula. It's kind of broken. It's a little bit broken. Focus. Broken scapula. It's like these owls don't even care that we're trying to figure out what things are, and they break the bones without even thinking about us. Rib. Arm or leg. Tiny bone. I think that's a vertebra. Nope, it's just a nubbin of nothing. Oh, no. What is that? Itty bitty vertebra. Griff, don't be licking things that you shouldn't be licking, please. Yes. Hey, stop licking things. I don't even know what you're licking. Stop it. I asked him to stop licking, and Raven came over and sat next to me like, I'm not licking it, Mom. I'm not licking it at all. I didn't lick any of it. So I suspect, I think I'm going to, ooh, there we go. Never mind. I'm going to make it a little bit more visible to you. I'm still going to, I'm not going to go crazy on this one because I think I can see what's going on and I don't want to mess it up. I want to try soaking it. So looking at this, I'm pretty sure that we've got a skull here. That's the opening to an eye orbit right there. The other eye orbit right there. Nose right there. If you look really carefully, you can just barely make out the top incisors right there. Bottom incisors come right up that way. So I think we've got actually a skull and both mandibles right here. Yeah, there's a mandible right there. But there's other bones mixed in here and still a lot of fluff. So I think I'm going to soak this before pulling it all apart. See if I can keep things intact better that way. Maybe soaking will make it better than what I did with the other one. I want to try not to break the eye orbits, but the cheekbone, the bottom of the eye orbits are really hard not to break. So I'm going to soak this one. Hold on. And then here we've got some more itty bitty bones and rib bones. But then we've got another skull. And I think I'm going to do the same thing with this one, not really pick it apart too badly. Because this one, ooh, you can even see the lower eye orbit is intact right now. You see that? Right there. Why is there a vehicle right here? Hold on, there's a vehicle outside the house. The dogs are going to bark. Why is somebody here? Stop. There's a stranger here without my permission, without checking with me. I don't know what they want. I don't know who they are. What are we doing? Hold on, I'll be back. Hello?
Thank you very much for letting me know. In the road? You don't want to do that. Sure. It was, oh, there's bad goat. Bad goat. It was funny though because they're all like, you right, where's your mom? And they're like, I'll fix that.
Yeah. Alright. She was just letting me know that the goats are beyond the fenced-in area. But they're back in there now, so I'm going to finish this and then I'll go and mess with that stuff. I know it was company and you didn't get to meet them and you're fine. So anyway, you can see that lower eye orbit right there. That's the cheekbone equivalent, I guess. That's intact. I don't want to break that because that's really hard to not break. And if that one's intact, we're just going to soak these ones. We're going to soak these and we're going to see what happens. And it's going to be awesome. I'm going to move these teeny tiny bones into a different spot. You teeny tiny bone go there. You teeny tiny bones go in there. Skull goes in there. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to soak these. And once they're soaked and I get a chance to mess with them a little bit more, I will let you know what I find. We'll do a reveal of the findings. And I'm going to probably poke through all of this a little bit more too. That's really cool. I don't know how good the color is for you guys, but you can see the undercoat and the progression in color to the outer coat. If you look closely, if it will focus and show you the, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see, I can see it. This is so cool. So thank you very much for the owl pellets. This was awesome. We're definitely gonna have to do the other ones. And we'll definitely see what happens after I soak these. Try to tease it all apart without breaking things. I have to be prepared for the fact that there's a learning curve. I'm gonna break stuff. But I'm gonna break as little as possible and I'll get better and better each pellet. But this was a really, really good activity for me today. And didn't work. Didn't get any of the stuff done that's on the list. But sometimes you need to ignore the list for a little bit and do what you need to do. And this was awesome. Oh, so much fun. I hope you enjoyed it too, friends. I don't know what some of this stuff is. We're just gonna soak it and see what it is. Some of this is probably nothing. This is off of my clothes. That's off me. That's from my pants. But yeah, I think we got most of it. I think we might have missed a few things here and there. A few teeny tiny bones. Soak the hair in the solution too. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Put it into a tiny little like mesh strainer or something maybe. Yeah, I'll do that. Just in case there's more. Because I know, there's no way that I didn't miss something. It's just a matter of, can I find it again? That's itty bitty. Even tinier than the rest of them. Yeah, so we'll soak. I'm gonna just literally kind of tip this and just pour it right into, I'll take out the stuff from my clothes. This stuff was from the skull that I took out. Yeah, I'll soak it. We'll see what we can find, what I missed. So cool. So yeah, thank you for this. This was amazing. And just as awesome as I was hoping it would be. Possibly cooler than I thought it would be. What are you? Don't know what that is. And some of the stuff that was on it when I first started looked like if this was a lizard, I would say it was urate. Or I guess it's a bird, so it could be urate, but I would expect urate on the on its feces, not in a regurgitated item. So I don't know quite what to make of that. Urate usually comes out. So, you know, when you see birds poop and lizards poop, they have poop and then they have the white spot on top. That's urate. It's literally their urine, but it's just, it comes out differently in birds and reptiles. So there was something at the very beginning on the surface, this stuff. Can you see that on the paper towel? This stuff here, that looked like urate to me, but I don't think it can be because it's not from the right side of the body, not from the right end of the body. So I gotta find out what that stuff is. See that? Where did I get it? Somebody amazing sent them to me as a gift because I said on stream that I had always wanted to do this and had never had the chance to. So they sent me some, and it's a pack of 5 of them. There's 4 more that we're gonna do, and then it comes with, it's Mountain Home Biological. The website is petlab.com, but it comes with a little bone sorting guide. So it's kind of cool. And then because I'm a freak, I had a full suture kit in my house, which is what I grabbed these forceps from to pull everything apart. But yeah, that was really fun. This is the good way to send. This is a really good way to send, to spend an afternoon. I like this. Yeah, Anonymous gave it to me. Anonymous sent it. It was really, really awesome. Yeah, the Amazon wish list that I have, I believe that it's set to allow things to be sent that aren't on the list. But yeah, this was really fun. Anonymous knocked it out of the park on this one. So yes, thank you very much. It's amazing. Look at how dirty the fingertips are from the pellet. It did relax me, and I needed this terribly. I've not been in the greatest of headspace, and it's just because of when physical things get overwhelming, it often causes emotional problems to be overwhelming for me as well. And that's what this was. I overdid it physically, and was paying the price emotionally, and just my anxiety was just ramped up too high. So yeah, this was exactly what I needed. It relaxed me. It gave my brain something to work on that wasn't anxious. Perfect. So yeah, we're gonna do more of these kinds of things, and I will soak these and see what we end up with on the other side of the soak. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up, and we're gonna focus in on the good stuff. This is what we ended up with so far, but we're not done yet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got 3 critters, and based on the bone guide, oops, I should put this, let's put this focus on the thing so you can see. There we go. That's better. Based on the bone guide, it looks like we have 2 mice and a shrew, maybe. But we'll look at the bones closer once they're soaked, and I can. It's really hard to tease the fur away really well. And yeah, as I said, especially with those skulls, I don't want to do more damage. So yeah, we'll soak and then we'll see what we end up with on the other side. But I'm pretty sure it's 3 critters. It's just a matter of exactly which critters we have. Very, very cool. Very fun. Look at all those ribs. That's a lot of ribs. Tiny, tiny, tiny ribs. My gosh. This is just a regular egg carton, guys. That's how tiny they are. Super close zoom. So thank you. Thank you all very, very much. Let me see if there's anybody fun to raid. Oh my gosh, we got a bunch. We got Cosmic, Skeleton Siski. Missy! We haven't raided Missy yet. I've been wanting to raid Missy and haven't had the chance, so let's do that. We're gonna raid Missy. Does she have anything after her name? Or is it just her name? Oh, music, okay. Alright. Hold on. Oops. Not that. This. So thank you all for hanging out with me, doing something totally different. Thank you, Anonymous, for making this possible. We'll do more. Thank you, everybody. This was awesome. This was so cool. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. Alcazar Music. I think that's right. It says raid's been created. We'll see if it actually goes anywhere. Thank you, everybody. You have a wonderful day. Sorry for the seasickness there. Sorry, I shifted. I'll see you soon. Really enjoyed today, Caperice? Good, thank you. I'm glad you did. I did too. This was really good. My brain is in a very different space now. It's awesome. Alrighty. Thank you, everyone. Catch you soon.